Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
How are you all doing?
No, Prabhu,
Yeah, fine.
fine, Prabhu.
Wonderful.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Give me a minute. Just get... We have some sort of marble flooring. It causes so much of cold. You're not able to keep the feet down.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Okay. Okay, so let's begin our continuous reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in the last two classes, we understood what a spiritual energy means, how it acts. Okay. But, what is the difference between Guru Parampara, and which manifests from Balram Ji? And we also understood the difference between how our services through the Aladani potency reaches for the pleasure of the Lord. So we went through these details very clearly. We also understood the position of spiritual master as an expansion of Kala, as a representation of Haladini Shakti. By serving the spiritual master, who is the direct representative of the God, we serve God. Right? So we understood that very clearly. Then after that, we took the session where detailing about the position of spiritual master. Okay. We said how spiritual masters are plural and they're not singular. Okay. And we also understood what's the direct meaning of understanding plural. Whom are we representing? Whom are we worshipping? Right. So this is very, very important. So there was a famous question which I have told many times, but I'll repeat it again for your understanding. When you ask this question to our Guru Maharaj, if we follow the rules and regulations as mentioned by you in our initiation ceremony, will we go back to Godhead? He never said, I'll take you back to Godhead. He said, I'll take you to my spiritual master. So you can see each of the spiritual masters whom a person is connecting to will make a promise on behalf of the Parampara and take you to the Parampara. So that way you can understand the real position of a spiritual master, the collective. So we understood all these things. So why did we connect the spiritual energy, then the spiritual masters? It's very simple. Now we are talking about this topic entitled a scheduled incarnation with specific functions. So what does the Lord do with incarnation? Why does the Lord incarnate? Is what we're going to now see. Okay. And what are the different kinds of incarnation? So what we have done is, after going through these purports, I have created about 10 points. Okay. 10 points as realization. So let's see if I can summarize these 10 pointers for your benefit. So that way we can conclude this benefit of understanding this topic. Okay. So these 10 points, please note down. You can take notes. I'm sure you're all taking notes in every class. If you don't take notes, it'll just be like you're sitting in a class, you're hearing something, then after the class is over, in a matter of a day or two, you'll forget. Again, you'll ask the same question in the next class, or the next doubt will again be persisting in your heart. So which means you are making progress, but you're making very little progress. You're not making rock solid progress, right? So the two techniques that are recommended, which I follow, is you should read the purport after the class. What are purports we cover? Then you should also take notes in the class. If you don't take notes in the class, you're not going to understand the subject. Okay. If you've been following this notes and purport reading in the past is good. If you're not following it, please begin from today onwards. Okay. So we have about 2 or 3 more chapters in Canto 2, which we will finish quite quickly now. And we'll move into third canto also. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jahatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desa Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So this entire thing that we're going to read is manifesting from this song, which is written by Jayadeva Goswami. Okay, so this is a song that we are reading this topic. This is a very famous song, Dasavatara Stotram. Author is Jayadeva Goswami. Sanskrit is the language. So here he's beautifully compiled the 10 avatars of the Lord. Okay, and he's concluded. What does the 10th avatar? The 10th avatar mean to us? So I'll just sing one lyric, then we'll just go to the summary. Pralaya prayodita jale tritavana shivedam vihita vahitra charitam aketam keshavadrita mina sharira jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare Shitiriha vipulatare tishtati tava priste dharani dharana kina chakra ghariste keshavadrita kurma sharira jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare. The first is Meena Sharira, next is Kurma Sharira. Okay. Vasati dasana shikare dharani tava lagna Sashini kalanka kaleva nimagna Keshavadrita sukara rupa Jai jagadisha hare Jai jagadisha hare Tavakara kamala vare nakam Adbhuta shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanabringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana Padanaka Nirajanita Janapavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Kshatriya Rudira Maye Jagat Apagata Papam Snapayasi Payasi Samita Bhavatapam Keshavadrita Bhrigupati Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vitarasi Dikshurane Dikpati Kamayinam Dasamukha Mauli Balim Ramaniyam Keshavadrita Rama Sarira Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vahasi Vapusi Visheda Vasanam Jaladhabam Alahati Biti Milita Yamunabam Keshavadrita Haladara Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Nindasi Yagna Vide Ahaha Shruti Jatam Sadaya Hridaya Darisita Pasughatam Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Mlecha Nivaha Nidane Kalayasi Karavalam Dhumamaketum Ivakim Apikaralam Keshavadrita Kalki Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. So after offering these 10 incarnations, Jayadev Prabhu is asking that I want to see your vision, right? I want to see your vision, and hence, as a menial servant, he is desiring to see the forms of the Lord. Shri Jayadeva Kaveridam Uditam Udaram Srinusukadam Shubhadam Bhavasaram Keshavadrita Vidarupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vedan Udarati Jaganti Vahate Bhugolam Udbibharte Daityam Dharayate Balim Chalayate Shatrashayam Kurvate Paulastyam Jayate Halam Kalayate Karunyam Atanvate Blechan Murchayate Dashakriti Krite Krishnaya Tubhyam Namaha. Now we'll just read one of it and then we'll just go to the last one. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. Okay. So he's saying, O Hari, in the form of a giant fish. That is important. Okay. So in the form of a giant fish, he manifested like that. You can see in the form of a divine tortoise, in the form of boar, in the form of boar, like that he comes. So that means Hari is the universal word. The forms are the different manifestation. So these forms are called avatars. Okay. Now look at the 11th one. This is the Jayadev Prabhu's prayer. Okay. O Keshava, O Lord of universe, Hari. You assume these 10 different forms of incarnation, all glories to you. Okay, see, Hari, you have assumed these 10 different forms of incarnation. That's important. Okay. All glories to you. O readers, please hear this hymn of a poet Jayadeva, which is most excellent, an award of happiness, bestower of auspiciousness, and is the best thing in this dark world. Okay. Now, the last is the key here, the 12th one. Let us see what is the meaning. Krishna offered my obeisances. You appear in 10 forms. In the form of Matsya, you rescued the Vedas. Okay. And as karma, you bear Mandara mountain on your back. Okay. That is your tortoise. As Varaha, you lifted the earth with tusk. That means when the earth got submerged into the Garbha ocean, you used the tusk to lift the mother earth and put her back into the position. Right? So one may be wondering, how is it possible for the earth to fall down? Okay, so that's what you should read the 5th canto. In the 5th canto, when we read the Jambudvipa, we will understand that the Jambudvipa is positioned with many varshas. Okay. Out of these many varshas, Bharata Varsha is one of the location in Jambudvipa. Like how, for example, in this Earth continent, there are many, many continents, like American continent, African continent, Asian continent. So like that, there are Australian continent, like the many continents are there. Within this continent, there is one place, specific country. Continents are made up of multiple countries. In the specific continent called Asian continent, we're talking about one country called India or Bharat. Okay. So in this Bharat, again, there are divisions. So like that, in the Bharata Varsha is like one country in the continent. This Bharata Varsha is again divided into many sub-locations. Okay. So that sub-locations or divisions within the Bharata Varsha is called khandas. Or for example, in the Asian continent, we have many countries, and one of the countries is Bharata, that is Indian country. Right? So Bharata Varsha, Bharata Khanda. Khanda is the specific division within Bharata Varsha. And Bharata Varsha is portion of Jambudvipa. Okay. Now in this Bharata Khanda, okay, which was ruled by King Bharat, this planet Earth, which is sitting in a stationary object. It is not rotating, it's not revolving. That's the conclusion of the Shastra. So now it is held by the forces empowered by the elephants on the head of Sesha. Okay, so now what's happening? Hiranyaksha, he came with great power. What was held? For example, you're holding this building with 4 pillars, right? So if I demolish the pillar, the building will fall down. Correct? So similarly, what was held by the elephants and the Sheshanaga said, he pushed the Bharadakanda, the earth planet, out of its position. And hence, without ability to support, it fell into the Garbha ocean. So that's what it says. So once it falls in the Garbha ocean, Mother Earth was suffocating. She was struggling. Then what did Varahamurti do? He used his tusk and pulled the Mother Earth out of the Garbha ocean, right? And placed it back into the original position. That is above the head of Sesha. Okay? Above the head of Sesha with the 4 elephants holding it, right? So like that he does. So that's why this this Varaha is considered to be very special. Because he gave life back. He gave life back to the Earthly planet. Okay, great. And in the form of Narsimha, you tear open the chest of Daitya Hiranyakashipu, right? So there are many theories why he tears open the chest. One prominent theory is that Lord is saying, hey, Hiranyakashipu, you are a great demon, but your son is a great devotee. So how is it you gave birth to a great devotee? That means there must be some bhakti in yourself. But some of that bhakti is got hidden. Cheto Darpana Marjan. Bhaktis are hidden. So Lord tore open his chest to see, and he searched everywhere to see if there's some bhakti anywhere, that I can give you one chance. So like that he tears open the chest. In the farm, Vamana, you trick the Daitya king Bali, right? So, Prabhupada taught us two things. First, give away the art of wanting, acquire the consciousness of art of giving. Okay, so this is something that is a great mindset change. Art of wanting and art of giving. So Prabhupada taught art of giving. So you give Shastradhan, highest knowledge about Krishna. You give Krishna to others by teaching the science of Krishna consciousness. You use yourself, Atma Nivedanam, use yourself in service of others. Right? So you see art of giving. Many ways you can give. Krishna says, you give your manasa, you give your mind, you give your heart, you give your consciousness. Everything back to me. Chitta, you give it back to me. So he said, Manmana Bhava Matpattu. So that means art of giving. That means art of giving not only is in the gross form, it's also in the subtle form. And this is the highest form of art of giving. This is what Prabhupada taught us. So, Vamana, in the Vamana avatar, what did he do? He told Bali that by learning the art of giving, you'll get liberated. So, Bali learned the art of giving. He gave away all possessions. Just 3 steps. Right? For which Lord reciprocated. Okay. Then, as Parsurama, you slay the wicked Kshatriyas. Okay, who are Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas are nothing but administrators of this entire kingdom. That means that if the entire world has to run, the head of the state are responsible to run. If the head of the state were Krishna consciousness, if their conscious was filled with Krishna's instruction, then they will run the state properly. Why? See, for example, you should understand the similarity between king and a demigod. Now, Krishna gave Varuna Devata a responsibility. Take care of the oceans. These are the rules of taking care of the ocean. And the ocean gives life back to everyone. Okay. The first is the ocean is protecting the lives of the aquatics. So hence the Varuna Devata has a big role. Second, because of the scorching sun, the ocean gives away pure water in the form of clouds through evaporation method and pours as rains onto the surface, by which the living entities on the surface, like mammals, human beings, all other, they're also nourished. So Lord Krishna gave very, very important responsibility, do it properly. That's how people can live in this world. Otherwise, they'll immediately die. Life form cannot be sustained. Okay, so Varuna Devata did his job properly. Similarly, Krishna empowered all the kings that I made you the king of this kingdom so that you will rule the kingdom properly. Okay. Now, what's the meaning of ruling kingdom properly? Teach. Teach what is ethics. Teach what is real bhakti. Teach what's the real purpose of life to the living entities. So, just like how Brahma is instrumental in bringing each one of them back to Godhead, the kings are also instrumental in bringing each one back to Godhead. Okay. So, you have an important role to play. If the head of the state fails, then not only you, all the members in the kingdom, they also fall down. So the kings have a very important role. But what happened? The kings became lusty, they became greedy, they became power hungry, they disrespected the Brahmanas, they disrespected the Shastras, they were not God conscious, they never kept Vishnu in the center of their life. All sorts of things went away and they were just sense gratifying their senses. So what did Parshurama did? These kings deserve no place. Just went and killed every Kshatriya. Right? So you see, Lord makes corrections at all points in time. This is important to understand. Okay? And Ramachandra, you conquer the Rakshasas, King Ravana. So King Ravana is a personification of lust. Right? Now, energy of the Lord, okay, energy of the Lord here is represented in the form of Mother Sita. If anyone tries to take away the energy of the Lord and misuse the energy of the Lord for their personal purpose, they will meet the same end result as Ravana. That's what Ram demonstrated. Now, in today's construct, what is energy of the Lord? Energy of the Lord is all the things that we possess. Various things. Like, for example, when we see mountains, when we see metals, when we see food, when we see various things, everything is the energy of the Lord. So the energy of the Lord must not be stolen away and used it for our gratificatory purpose. The energy of the Lord must be deployed back in service of the Lord. And that's what Ramchandra taught us. Right? When Ravana did a very unpardonable mistake of abducting the energy of the Lord taught him a lesson. Right? So in the form of Balrama, you carry up the plough by which to subdue the wicked and rod towards the river Yamuna. So what is river Yamuna here refers to? River Yamuna is a personification of love of Krishna. In fact, our Acharya is right, the position of Yamuna is superior to Ganga. Right? Because Yamuna was not only a purificatory aspect, also very dear to Krishna. That means, look at the position of Balramji. Balramji, so is now the living entities are there everywhere and doing all nonsensical things, all materialistic activities. Just like what happened in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you read, we have Advaita Acharya offering Tulsi water and Tulsi and Ganges water to Shaligraman, asking Mahaprabhu to come so that these people can be reformed. Similarly, Balramji, what is he doing? He's telling, hey, you guys are all running after material consciousness, which is of no use. So Balramji threw his plow and dragged. See, plow can be used to drag anything towards you. So he drags the living entities towards River Yamuna. Who's River Yamuna? She is personification of expression of love for Krishna. Okay? So thereby, we will also get our consciousness towards Krishna consciousness. So that's the purpose of this avatar. Okay, now Lord Buddha. So Buddha is like, there are two kinds of people. One is people who are a little bit elevated who knows Krishna consciousness, but there are many people who don't know Krishna consciousness. They are just doing sinful activities all the time. So what he did, the Buddha Sharira, in the form of Buddha, he just showed, rather than punishing all this, he just showed compassion to them, saying that, hey, get rid of sinful activities. First of all, come to the platform of goodness. Then we can talk about God consciousness. So he was trying to do that. Right? And finally, Kalki Avatar, right? So, in the Kalki Avatar, what happens? You should draw this example to Shishupal. Okay? So, let's run this example of Shishupal very clearly. Remember, understand this prophecy. Shishupal was a blasphemer of the Lord. Okay? We have seen blasphemer of many things, but this is the first person who blasphemes the Lord himself. And so much blasphemous he does. He demonstrates heavy hatred towards Krishna. He demonstrates the greed very strong in the heart. That is Shishupal. So, now what is Shishupal doing? Shishupal is constantly blaspheming Krishna, thereby he's creating negative energy in the hearts of everyone about Krishna. Okay, so what did the Lord do? Lord said, okay, Shishupal, you're envious of me, you're hatred of me, you blaspheme me, you are atheistic in your thought process, everything is there. But I will not punish you straight away. I'll keep giving you chances. He gave 100 chances to him. 100 was actually the last set of chances, but before that he gave many chances. He gave 100 chances to me. 100 chances I will tolerate. Beyond that I will not tolerate. So when Shishupal kept on blaspheming the 100 times also, the Sush Chakra was just waiting for the instruction. Once the 100th blasphemous statement came from the mouth of Shishupal, Sudarshan did not wait for any more instruction from the Lord. He just flew from the finger of Krishna, chopped the head of Shishupal. Now, what does this mean? It means that the Lord will keep waiting and giving us chance. Come on, now it's time to reform. Now time to change. Get rid of this. Get rid of this negative consciousness. Move away from it. Right? Similarly, let's draw parallels from Shishupal to Kali Yuga. when someone like us have reached Kali Yuga, what does it mean? It means we have failed to get liberated in the previous millenniums, or that means the previous cycles of creation of the Garbhodaksha portion. We failed. In the current Brahma's life, Brahma has completed 50% of his journey. That means Brahma lives for 100 years and 50 years of Brahma is over. In that, half of Brahma's day is also over. Okay. So in the half of Brahma's day, that means it calculates to lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of years. In lakhs of years means, I'm talking about Divya Yugas and, human calculation of years. In all these times, we've taken cycle of birth and death and disease. Either in the human form or in a non-human form, we've taken. And in all these forms, we did not get liberated. We stayed back here in this world. We kept on staying back, and we are taking bodies after bodies. Whether in the human form only, either as a good person or as a bad person, as a cheater, as a God conscious, all types of birth we've taken. And in the 84 lakhs piece also we take enough birth. So Krishna gave many, many chances, like how he gave Shishupal to us. But at one point in time, that is at the end of the first quadrant, at the end of the second quadrant, and third quadrant begins in Kali Yuga, which is 32 lakh years. That means 16 lakh years after that time period. Krishna will come as Kalki. At that time, just like Sudarshan Chakra did not wait to give any more chances to Shishupal to chop his head, Kalki will not give any chance. He'll just go on chopping each one of us. That is the point you have to understand. Getting mercy from benediction from the Lord is important, not the hatred and anger from the Lord. That is Kalki Avatar. One may think, oh, by the touch of the Lord, I'll also get liberated. No. In the Kalki Avatar, you don't get liberated. You get punished. Okay? So that's why you see these 10 slokas, and the conclusion of these avatars are very important. What does it teach us? What's the message it takes us? Okay? So now let's go back, and I will share back this one. Okay? So let's read this, and then we are not going to spend much time because the avatars are all known to you. We've discussed avatars many, many times. We're just going to run through the sloka and the translation. But we will summarize up to the 29th sloka. That is the completion of the avatars. I think completion of avatars is 29th sloka. Okay, 39th, not 29th, 39th. Yeah. So we will be completing the 39 incarnations of the Lord. Only few incarnations which need explanation. We will discuss that. But otherwise, we will just go into the summary. So after that, we'll talk about so from 1 to 39 is the avatars. Okay. Now, but from 26 onwards, we'll be discussing about a certain set of avatars that we know, but they are from the pastimes of Vrindavan. So that means avatars consist of two portions. One, there was a question that was asked. What is the purpose of avatars? Is that the Lord does not have anyone to reform this world? Yada yada hi dharmasya. Or what is the purpose? Why is the Lord has to descend himself? So there is a clarity that Jayadev Jiva Goswami talks about in Krishna Sandarbha in Anucheda 63. So we'll try to discuss that also. So we will know the purpose behind Lord's advent. Okay. So I'm going to read a letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote. Searching for the letter. Okay. So I've written the extracts of this letter. I want to share this letter. Okay, so can you see this page? Or should I increase the font size?
You can increase the font size.
Is it better? Or same?
Better, Prabhu.
Better, Prabhu.
Better? Is it okay, readable?
Readable, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this was a letter, sorry, not letter, it was a lecture that Prabhupada gave in Vrindavan on November 13, 1972. Okay, so let's read this letter, a brilliant letter. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Leela Avatara, incarnates in many forms, not only in human society, but in demigod society or in lower than human society, the animal society also, the tree society. Okay, that means everywhere Lord manifests. Now, because we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna, he is always anxious to get us back home, back to Godhead. He has got Anantarupa, unlimited forms. It's Anantarupa. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim. All these forms are in essence one. Okay, that means Krishna changes his attire, his looks, his dress, his physical facial appearances. And then comes at different times and circumstances in order to address a different need. Okay? So when he changes his look, he also performs different activities. Right? So, for example, Krishna changes his look as half man, half lion. He doesn't depend on Sudarshan Chakra or other weapons and things like that. He directly takes his nails. We recite, no? Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam, nails. Adubhuta Shringam, these nails are so powerful. Why? Because they're very sharp. The same nails are used to kill, tear open the body of Hiranyakashipu, which is like iron and steel. But the same nails on his palm, he touches the head of Prahlad, and then he pacifies. I mean, not pacifies, what do you say? He pets, he caresses him, right? So, like that it is. Now, so at the present moment, the whole civilization set of rascals only. That's all, no education. They do not know, and because they do not know Krishna comes, just to make these rascals to inform that I am Krishna, he says, I am, aham, adir hi devanam, aham sarvasya prabhavo, mattas sarvam pravartate, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja, manmana bhava mat bhakto madhyaji. So he is telling, canvassing, my dear sons, why are you rotting in this material world? Please come, you are my beloved son. I cannot tolerate you suffering. This is Krishna conscious. This is Krishna's business. He's more kind, he's more anxious to get us back. Therefore, he comes personally. So Krishna is always anxious to give us enlightenment. This is not your life. Why rotting in this material world? Come back. Okay. So Prabhupada says that Krishna is telling each one of us, don't rot in this material world. Now, where do you rot? Where does something rot? A living entity rots in a place where it is not conducive for human living. It's not favorable. It's not good to live here, right? So, for example, let's say you go to Syria or the Gaza, right? Full of war, full of exploitation. Is it a good place to live happily there? No, you shouldn't live there. So similarly, Prabhupada says this material world is not a good place to live. Don't be here. Get out. Right? Okay. So now I'll just take you to what is called as just take you to the Krishna Sandarbha. I want to read that for you. Yep. Okay. I'll share this for you. Okay, you're able to see it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So this Krishna Sandarbha, the author is written by Jiva Goswami. Okay. It is divided, like for example, you have cantos and chapters now in Bhagavatam. Like that, he is divided into, it's called Anucheda. Anucheda. Anucheda means one division, right? So now this is the 63rd division in the Krishna Sandarbha book that is written. Okay. Now I want to read this for you. Okay. Now I'm not going to read all these Sanskrit and text, but I'll read the substance. When the world is overburdened by fighting, strength of kings who have no faith in God, the Lord, just to diminish the distress of the world, descends with his plenary portion. The Lord comes in his original form with beautiful black hair. Just to expand his transcendent glories, he acts extraordinarily. No one can properly estimate how great he is. The first meaning. Now go back, what we talked about Parshuram. The kings were misbehaving. They're not doing their duty. And when it became beyond the threshold point, when it's beyond the limit, I can't tolerate this. Krishna said, okay, I'll come. Okay. As Parshuram, he just chopped the head of all the kings. You don't deserve this position. So similarly, now you see in Kali Yuga also, everywhere, just take a newspaper and see, not even one happy news. Aha, what a news this is, I want to cherish. Nothing's there. All about wars, unwanted price escalations, unrest. What else you want to see? That's what you say. So the head of the state has not done his duty. The Krishna will descend. How he descends, he may come or he may use his energies, clean up the system. So that's exactly the situation. Okay, now let's take the text too. Okay. Look at the text too. This is very brilliant. Can someone read this text too? Take a turn.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Read too.
In this verse, Lord Brahma says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is superior to everyone, including even the all-pervading Supersoul, and who cannot be perfectly understood by me or by someone else, will appear in this material world and perform many transcendental activities in order to lessen the burden of the earth. Lord Brahma also says, the Lord who has beautiful black hair is accompanied by his plenary portion, that the demigod were able to see the Lord and his plenary portion, who both have beautiful black hair, is confirmed in the verses from the Vishnu Purana and Mahabharata previously quoted. We may also note in this connection that the plenary portion mentioned in the verse refers to Lord Balrama and the Supreme Lord, the constant companion. In this connection, someone may raise the following doubt. If Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, superior even to the Purusha incarnations.
The Purusha incarnations are what? What are Purusha incarnations?
Karnodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay.
Okay, that is the secondary expansion. First is, the first Purusha incarnation is Narayana.
No.
Okay. This from Narayana comes Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is nothing but the Karnodakshay Vishnu. Okay. So then from Karnodakshay Vishnu comes the others. So they are also primary secondaries there. So Purusha incarnation refers to this. Okay. Then
why does he descend to the material world to perform such an insignificant activity as the removal of the earth's burden? To this I reply, Lord Krishna does not appear in this world simply to lessen the earth's burden. The earth's burden may be removed by Lord's plenary incarnation or simply by the Lord's wishing. He does not have to appear in this world to lessen the earth's burden. Sri Krishna appears in this world in order to manifest his pastimes with the devotees which are full of transcendental sweetness. Lord Krishna appears to delight the devotee, for whom the Lord's lotus feet are more dear than life,
Shower.
and shower his own transcendental sweetness in this world. Hari Hari. Hari.
Okay. So look at this is the key now why Lord Krishna advents, right? So let's stress again to read this point again. Sri Krishna appears in the world in order to manifest his pastimes with the devotees who are full of transcendental sweetness. That means whoever is practicing Krishna consciousness, the Lord will manifest in their lives directly, indirectly, or through his energies, or through his partial representation, or through his spiritual master, just to give that sweetness of life. But with others, Krishna does not do it. He says, Lord Krishna appears to delight the devotees from whom the lotus feet are more dear than life. That means, for devotees, when we say Prabhu, Prabhu means what? One who is serving the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So, he says, the lotus feet of the Lord is more dear to someone, they value that greater than their own life. That is called pure devotion. Okay? Now let's read text 3, very now. Nice. Boom.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
1 second.
Okay, Prabhu.
I'll ask Mohammed. Yeah, please wait, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Did anybody observe that Anucheda number?
3 Mataji.
3, huh?
63.
63, Mataji.
63.
63, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, Hare Krishna. So let's, okay, now we are reading the third sloka now. Now, can someone read the third sloka, purport?
Hare Krishna. There is no doubt about Lord Krishna being the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how was it possible for him to kill a giant demon like Putana when he was just on the lap of his mother? To overturn a cart with his leg when he was only 3 months old? To uproot a pair of Arjuna trees so high that they touched the sky when he was only crawling? All these activities are impossible for anyone other than the Lord himself. Hare Krishna.
So this just tells that Lord is always a Lord, whether he is in a child form or in a adult form. Okay? Yeah. Next one. Someone read.
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Lord Krishna's plenary portion could have performed these actions, or the Lord could have performed them simply by wishing them to be done. He did not have to personally perform them. The charm of these pastimes lies in the fact that although these extraordinary activities cannot be performed by any ordinary person, the Lord performed them as a tiny child. If the Lord had not wished to charm and delight his devotees, he would not have personally performed such activities as a small child. This is the actual reason the Lord performed these pastimes. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
What are the things? Look at the charm. The charm of these pastimes lies in the fact that although external activities cannot be performed by ordinary person, the Lord performs them as a child. So this is the charm. So the charm and the delight is what the devotees are really hankering for. They are not hankering for material things. And so Lord comes to give that, and that's why Lord comes personally. It cannot be given through indirect method. So it's like this, just imagine. Now let's say, you want to celebrate your parents' 25th anniversary. I'm just throwing up a situation, right? Can you send your domestic maid or your office staff or your friend, say, hey, it's my parents' 25th anniversary. On my behalf, can you go and celebrate that and come? Is it possible to do that?
No.
No, not possible, right? So that's the intimacy. So this is the exact reason why the Lord comes. It's a special benediction to his devotees. Okay. Next one, who can read? There are only 7 verses. We'll read the 7.
I'll read.
Yeah.
Lord Krishna does not need to personally
No,
appear.
no, where are here.
From there. Okay. That Lord Krishna incarnates for the devotee's benefit is confirmed by Arjuna in the following words. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.25. O Lord Krishna, you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are wrapped in meditation upon you. In commenting,
Look at this. Look at the why the Lord becomes your friend. This is the key statement. Who are your exclusive devotees? Exclusive. That word is very key. And rapt attention meditating on you. That means whenever they meditate, they give full attention, focus on you. Right? Such a person. Okay, now Sridhar Swami.
In commenting on this verse, Sridhar Swami says, Lord Krishna does not need to personally appear in this world to remove the earth's burden, for he can do that simply by wishing it to be done. The actual reason for the Lord's appearance is given in this verse. You descend to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are wrapped in meditation upon you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So in our lives, when we practice, we are protected. Right? The Lord does incarnate in our life through his energies. Okay. Yes, Sindhu Mataji, you want to read, no? Read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
The following verse.
The following verse 10.90.48 may also be quoted as a summary of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Lord Shri Krishna, he who is known as Jana Nivasha, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandana or Yashoda Nandana, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms, he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful, smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavana. May he be all glorious and happy. He may note in this verse that although Lord Krishna could have killed the demons simply by willing their death,
Do you know what's the meaning of willing their death means?
willing their death. They desire to they desire to die.
No, they don't desire to die. Will anyone desire to die? No, they don't desire to die. Willing to death means just like how Yamaraj will write, okay, this person will end on this date. Like that, Krishna is writing that. Writing on his forehead. This is what it is. That's called as the willing their death. Okay. Yeah. Please read. He personally killed them.
He personally killed them with his own arms in the sporting spirit of his pastimes. We may also note that this verse was spoken by Lord Brahma, who was filled with devotion at hearing the narration of the Lord's astonishing pastimes. Thank you.
So last one. Can someone read last one? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yeah.
The following statement of Lord Brahma from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.34 confirms the extraordinary nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes and intimate associates. My dear Lord Krishna, I am therefore not interested in material opulences or liberation. I am most humbly praying at your lotus feet for you to please give me any sort of birth within this Vrindavana forest so that I may be able to be favored by the dust of the feet of some of the devotees of Vrindavana. Even if I am given the chance to grow just as a humble grass in this land, that will be very glorious for me. But if I am not so fortunate to take birth within the forest of Vrindavana, I beg to be allowed to take birth outside the immediate area of Vrindavana, so that when the devotees go out, they will walk over me. Even that would be a great fortune for me. I am just aspiring for a birth in which I will be smeared by the dust of the devotees' feet. I can see that everyone here is simply full of Krishna consciousness. They do not know anything but Mukunda. All the Vedas are indeed searching after the lotus feet of Krishna. Haribol.
Haribol, what a statement, no? Huh? See, this is the height of humility and height of devotion. So he's hankering, saying that I'm not interested in anything on the material aspects. I just want to simply get an opportunity to grow as a grass in the grasslands of Vrindavan. So that someday, one day, see, Vrindavan is so big, right? We do not know whether every grass is being trampled. But just I'm having a hope that someday one of the Vrajavasis, their legs or their feet, lotus feet, will fall on my head and I'll get liberated. And he says, if you think I'm not eligible even for a grass, at least make me be born outside of Vrindavan in some form, so that people who are trying to go to Vrindavan as devotees, at least their feet can be trampled on my head. Just imagine, that is how devotees have glorified their wants. So now, on the other hand, look at devotees or people who go to the Lord asking for some material benediction. You look at the contrast difference between their consciousness and consciousness of this nature, right? Very, very huge consciousness difference. So this is what is important. So this is what we understand from the position of the Lord. Lord, why you come here? Why you come in different forms? So hence, out of the many Anuchedas, this one is specifically talking about aspects of the Lord who takes avatars, who comes here. Okay. Okay, so now what shall we do is we'll just go to read the Canto 1. So we've given enough pretext now of incarnation. So incarnations are not just ordinary, but they are very powerful, right? It is not about just concluding yada yada hi dharmasya in just one line and say Lord comes. No, there are many, many detailing behind that. That's why I'm taking time to make you understand all of them. Okay, so let's read text 7.1. Brahmovacha yatro yatah shiti talo daranaya bibrat kraudim tanum shakala yajna mayim anantaha antar maharnava upagatam adi daityam tam damstrayadrim eva vajradharo dadara. Translation. Lord Brahma said, when the unlimitedly powerful Lord assumed the form of a boar as a pastime just to lift the planet Earth, which was drowned in the great ocean of universe called the Garbhadaksha, the first demon, Hiranyaksha, appeared. The Lord pierced him with his tusk. Right? So we talked a lot about this. Now, the key thing is here in this that I want you to get focused on, out of many things that we spoke. The other half is a spherical dome. So what does the other half spherical dome means? The entire material planet is actually a globe, right? In that globe, half is filled with water. Just like here you have a ball, half is filled with water. This water is called as the Garbha ocean. Okay. The second half is empty, just ether and sky and things like that. So the entire manifestation of the universes that we talked about, the 14 planet system, is in the top half. Okay, so that's what he says. The other half is a spherical dome within which the innumerable planet system exists. All the 14 planets exist here. No, not just the 14 planets. So 14 planets is starting from Brahmaloka up to Pataloka. They exist in the top half. Now, apart from that, we have planets of the, like Rahu, Ketu. Those planets are also there. The other demigods, Ihadevata's planets are also there. Then there is also Dhruvaloka. Then there is planets for the Pitrus. Then there is also the sun planet and the moon planet, which is rotating and moving around, right? Then we have many, many stars, many, many stars. So these are all the residents of the special demigods, 3.3 crore demigods. So like that, this top half alone is phenomenal. in the way it is designed, constructed, and it's present. Okay, that's what it says here. Now, the second important aspect is the energy of the Lord. What talks about? The floating of the planets in the weightless air is due to the inner constitution of the globes. That means, if any of these, for example, let's say Ganesha has a planet and the Ganesha planet is floating. Okay, where is Ganesha planet floating? For example, you have the middle planetary system is Martyaloka, which is called Bhuloka. Above Bhuloka is Bhuvarloka, and above Bhuvarloka is Suvarloka. Okay, so above Suvarloka is Duraloka. Duraloka is not beyond Satyaloka, it's here only. Okay, now between the Suvarloka and Bhuvarloka, there exist many planets, which are all the planets of the Iga Devatas, including Rahu and Ketu. Okay, now all these planets are all floating. They are not being attached in some manner. They're all floating and they are moving, rotating, revolving at a certain speed and fashion. That's what it is. Okay, this floating of planets in the weightless air is due to inner constitution of the globes. Inner constitution refers to the energy of the Lord as per design. The modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from within is a sort of disturbance by modern demons. Okay, so when we drill the earth or when we cut the mountains to take the granite, it is called Ugra Karma, because it is going to cause the stability of this entire planetary system will get disturbed. Now, what Prabhupada says, how Hiranyakashipu caused destabilization to the earth planet that it fell into the Garbha ocean. Similarly, by drilling and by cutting the mountains, you will see this earth once again will fall into the Garbha ocean. So the act of today is what is called as economic activity. Today is what is called as, the politicians and doing all these nonsensical things, is an act very equivalent to Hiranyaksha's behavior that he did in Satyuga. That's the point here. So, by depending stronger on, for example, fossil fuel, by depending stronger on the material nature and exploiting material nature for our needs, is a dangerous act. That's what Prabhupada is trying to tell you. Okay. And can result in greatly harmful reaction of the floating condition of the earth. He says, see the floating condition of the earth. That means the floating condition of the earth may get disturbed and the earth may once again fall down into the Garbha ocean. Okay. Similar disturbance was created by the following demons headed by Hiranyaksha, the great exploit of the gold rush, and the earth was dashed from his weightless condition. Look at this one. Okay. The earth was detached from its weightless condition, fell down to the Garbha ocean. So the Lord has maintained the whole creation of the material world. Therefore, assume the proper giant of a boar. He came from the nostrils of the Brahmaji and picked up there from the water of. So that means when that fall down happens, and when the fall down happens is because of the cause of the demons, and the lifting, that means restating the earth back into its position, is done by the Lord. When he does that, how he cleaned up Hiranyaksha, all other demons in this world will also be cleaned up. So this is how the Lord does that. Okay, we recited this prayer. Is it clear now how our acts of Ugra Karma acts?
Yes.
Okay. Because of our greed, right, we devastate mountains. Because of our greed, we devastate many things in this world, right? This is called as exploiting the material nature, exploiting the energy of the Lord for one's sense gratification, one's enjoyment, which is not a good idea to do. Okay. Now, 7.2. Jato rucher ajannayat suyaman suyagnya akuti sunur amaran ata dakshinayinam lokotrayasya mahatim aharad yad artim swayam bhuvena manuna harir iti anuktat. So there are three aspects of creation, maintenance, and destruction, right? So for creation, the Lord engaged the service of Prajapatis. Okay. So Prajapatis, they created the living entities. Now, for example, you will see Suyagna. Suyagna are the cause of creation of the demigods, right? So like that, you see, Lord engages many of these aspects, and that's why you see lineage. For example, after this third chapter onwards, you will be seeing, oh, he is son of him, he is son of him. Why? Because this is the connection. And there's a purpose. Because of him, you see, one day, Raghukulam, Lord Rama was born, right? So translation. The Prajapati first begot Suyagna in the womb of his wife Akuti, and the Suyagna begot demigods. You see, today we have 3.3 demigods, 3.3 god demigods. They all begot because of Suyagna. That's why it's important to understand their ancestors. Headed by Suyama in the womb of his wife Dakshina. Suyagna as the Indradeva diminished very great miseries in the three planetary system, upper, lower, intermediate. And because he so diminished the miseries of the universe, he was later called Hari by the great father of mankind named Swayambhu. Okay? So Suyagna, because he did the act like what God was doing. What God was doing, for example, Krishna said, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. He reinstated dharma. He reinstated all the fall down cases. Suyagna did the same thing. He brought down all the miseries. So Swayambhu Manu gave him the title, you are Shakshat Hari himself. You are as good as that Hari himself. So he gave the title. So that's the meaning. So now you can understand all the demigods, they were brought into action. First they were begot by Suyagna. That means if someone wants to become a demigod, they have to worship Suyagna so that he is born in the womb of Suyagna. That's demigods. So you got one more clue how to become demigod. So you all want to become demigods? Okay. Now let's read 7.3. Judge
Suyagna is Prabhu. Suyagna
is a son of Prajapati.
Prajapati, okay.
Daksha, Prajapati Daksha. So Brahmaji engaged the service of Prajapati in order to create many aspects. Okay. So from Prajapati came many Manus and things like that, and then population increased. Prajapati also created a Suyagna, from whom the demigods population came. So like that, different kinds of people were created under different conditions, combinations. Okay. 7.3. Jajne cha kardama grihe tuja deva hutiyam stribhi samam navabir atmagatim swamatre uche yayatma samalam gunasanga pankam asmin viduya kapilasya gatim prapedaye. The Lord then appeared as Kapila, incarnation being the son of Prajapati Brahmana, Kardama and his wife. Devati, along with the 9 other women, sisters, he spoke to his mother about self-realization, by which in that very lifetime she became fully cleansed of the mud of material modes, and thereby achieved liberation, the path of Kapila. Okay. Now you see how one's life gets changed. See, Devati is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. She is very princely. Right? She is very dear daughter of Swayambhu Manu. Now, what did Swayambhu Manu do? He did not give Devhuti to a opulent king who's with great riches and vast lands and things like that. He did not give her to. He gave her to an eligible Brahmana. Right? That's what is important to note here. So, when we are also in our life, we have to search for eligible Brahmanas. Okay. Now, when he gave to an eligible Brahmana, what did the Brahmana do? This Brahmana is called Kardama. What did he do? He said, hey, by my practice of devotion, I can give you what is called as something very sacred. No other person in this entire creation can give you. I can give you Krishna Prem. That's the promise that Kardama gave to Devhuti. Devhuti said, okay, great. Then I don't need to go through all the austerities, reading scriptures, doing that, doing this, nothing I will do. What I will do? I'll simply serve you. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Paddekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattu dakshana. That's very important. Because Kadama knows everything. So what she did, she simply served the lotus feet of Kardama. Now by serving, what happened? When Kardama finished his life, finished his life means finished his grasta life. He said, okay, now I'm going to take what is called as Vanaprastha life. Now I can't live with you anymore. He told Devotee, I'm going in search of ending my human form and purpose of life. I've done all my duties while I was a grasta. Now I'm going to complete my journey of human life. So he left the grasta ashrama and he went away. At the time of leaving, what promise he made? As a husband, I'll give you something what is called Krishna Prema, where no other person in this world can give you. So, how did he give that? He gave that Krishna Prema in the form of Kapila Dev as a son born in the womb of Devaki. So now you see what happened. When Devaki produced or begot Kapila Dev, Kapila Dev is what is also considered to be an incarnation, right? So what did he do? See, look at it. Look at what is this action of Kapila Dev to his mother. He spoke to his mother about self-realization. So we generally have to teach our children, but our children are teaching us now. So about self-realization, by which in that very lifetime, she did not take one more birth. In that very lifetime, she became fully cleansed. That means she became pure, 100% pure, 24 karat. That means she became beyond the three modes of material nature, and there we achieved liberation. You see that? So you see, the award of Kardama came through the womb of Devahuti, and the Lord incarnated in that womb and liberated his mother. So this is the glory of the position of a Brahmin. So we have to be very careful about how we serve our great Vaishnava sannyasis in our organizations. Rather than becoming critic of their actions in whatever fashion it is being done, let us appreciate the great things that they can do for us, which is awarding us Krishna Prem, and walk towards that goal. Let us not worry about things that are disturbing us as to, this should have been done like that, this should have been done like this is correct, this is wrong, he is like this, he is like that. That we are not interested. We are interested in what is the essence of Krishna Bhakti he can give us. We see that, march towards that. That is what is called as cleansing the heart and purifying ourselves. Right? Okay, so now this is one small line I want you to read here or understand this. Okay, there's something called as Atma Gatim. This Atma Gatim is significant in the sense of perfect knowledge of the Supreme. So Gatim refers to destination or final goal, which is also liberation. So Atma Gatim refers to the living entity reaching its final destination or goal. Okay. Is significant in the sense of perfect knowledge of the Supreme. When can you reach? That means when you're fully aware of the Lord as a personality, Lord as his activities, and Lord as his desire and instruction. That means you have to understand in three dimensions the Lord. This is called knowledge. One should not be satisfied simply by knowing the qualitative equality of the Lord. Okay, hey, I know today Lord is a blue color in body color. Lord wears a peacock. Okay, so that's one aspect. He says, don't satisfied with that. One should know the Lord as much as can be by our limited knowledge. All three dimensions we talked about. They should know it fully. What does the Lord want me to do? Now, here you see, this is a major difference between what Prabhupada taught us in Krishna consciousness and ISKCON versus other sampradayas. See, if you see many of these poems in the modern scenario, they'll just glorify one aspect of the Lord, or they'll glorify one pastime of the Lord. That's it. They do not go in depth. They do not go in depth to understand the Lord's position, Lord's activities, Lord's instruction. So that is what the differentiator is. So supreme knowledge or a perfect knowledge is one which understands the entire realm of this knowledge. Okay? So that's the most important keyword. The rest you can read. Okay. Let's read this fourth sloka. One more sloka we'll read and we'll stop. Okay. So now what I'm suggesting is you're going to have a homework today. So you're going to read, now we read Kapila, now we'll read Dattatreya. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a homework. You're going to read from still slokas 25. Okay, 7.25. So that's the homework for all the attendees. And when you read till sloka 25, you'll understand certain detailing of a particular avatar. Why, what, and how. And that will make your consciousness strong. Right? So now let's say we understood Kurma avatar very well. Or let's say we understood Varaha avatar very well. So then, when the festival of Varaha appearance day comes, your consciousness in celebrating this festival with devotion and involvement will be perfect. Otherwise, what will happen? Hey, every year one appearance, disappearance day come and same thing fast, don't eat it till 12 and then do something, same thing. That is the problem. Careless attitude. So when you appreciate Varaha avatar, your bhakti in your heart will increase that you would want to follow that austerity of not eating, follow the austerity of singing, follow the austerity of glorifying the Lord on that day will manifest. And that is the first blossom of bhakti. So you see, appearance days of Lord on various festivals, you will enjoy more deeply in your consciousness. That's why these avatars are to be importantly read. Otherwise, today we are very casual in our approach towards festivals. This should change. Okay. So, 7.4. The great sage Atri prayed for offspring. The Lord, being satisfied with him, promised to incarnate as Atri's son. And Atri's son is Dattatreya. Datta means the son of Atri. So, Atreya is nothing but Atri. So, Datta Atreya means Datta, the son of Atri. That's why he gets the name Dattatreya. And by the grace of the lotus feet of Lord, many Yadus, Hayas, became so purified that obtained both material and spiritual blessings. Okay. So now we can read through the Dattatreya pastime and get the knowledge of it. And you will know very clearly. Right? It is done with simple language. Wherever it is important to explain you, mood change of consciousness I'm doing. Okay. So what's your homework now? Who can explain? What is the homework for the next class?
Reading till 7.25, Prabhu.
7.25, correct. So that means sloka number 1 till sloka number 25. You have to read. You have to read the sloka, translation, purports. And in purports, wherever you read, if you see an attractive statements, highlight them with a marker. Okay? Highlight them with a marker. Be very, very clear Prabhupada's message. What is he trying to tell? What is the differentiator? Okay? And if there are certain statements that are made which you've not been able to understand, please put a message in the same WhatsApp group, Canto 2 group, and I will explain that. How to understand the particular statement. Okay? So don't write to me personally. Please put in the group. I'll answer because everyone will hear your question and they'll also hear the answer. And that way, primary learning is the class, secondary learning is Q&A. That means both can be relevant. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So you also make your notes while you read and make it clear. Make your subject very, very clear. At any point in time, let's say we finished 12 cantos of Bhagavatam. At some point in time, suddenly one question on Canto 6, chapter 5, text 23 is being asked. If you immediately open that 6.5.23, by just seeing it, you'll exactly know what the answer is. You'll be able to talk to it. That is how you should become. Okay? So Prabhupada said, one of the qualification for liberation. Yeah, of course, the spiritual master initiation is all one side. But he said the maturity of the consciousness. That's what Prabhupada said. Maturity of the consciousness is one of the factors that will drive one to liberation. If the consciousness is not maturing, oh, I got initiation, I am chanting and I'm doing some service, but consciousness is not changing, then Prabhupada said it's a challenge. So, what is the maturity of evolution of consciousness? Prabhupada said, one should try to migrate from the position of a Kanishtadhikari to a Madhyamadhikari. And that is what will make them into the position of liberation. If you don't move up to the position of Madhyamadhikari, that means you're in a questionable, doubtful state. We don't know. Okay? So try to move to Madhyamadhikari. Knowledge is very important. Perfect knowledge gives you perfect behavior, perfect consciousness. And with that consciousness, you can worship your Lord very sweetly. Okay. Okay, let me stop here. And if there are any questions, if there are any questions, you please let me know.
Prabhu, you said initiation is not a criteria, but actually we come to know that it is important to go through a guru. So we need to have a guru. So the guru has to accept us, take us into their fold. Then if that is not important, then how we will progress forward?
So the word initiation means, what does initiate? Initiate means to start. So Guru and Guru's instruction and Guru Bhakti helps us to kickstart devotion. Okay.
Yes.
Now, after initiation, one does not develop taste for Guru Bhakti because of his offensive nature. Then what's the use of initiation? Okay. So the use of initiation just becomes a formal document like a certificate or anything else, but there's no transformation of the heart. Unless there's a transformation of the heart, you will not be getting able to liberate. So the Guru will have to descend again to liberate you in the next birth. Because the contract between you and the Guru has already been established. That Guru made a promise on behalf of you to Krishna that he will be reformed, his consciousness will change, bhakti will outpour from his heart. So you please show mercy on him. That is the promise that Guru made on behalf of you to Krishna. But after initiation, you're not making the right progress. You're not practicing devotion. You're not understanding the subject matter of Krishna. So where do you stand? Your practices, your subject knowledge, your offensive nature will not meet the criteria. And how do you expect to get liberated?
Also essential, and also we should progress in devotional service, practice of devotional service.
It's like you got admission into medical college. Just because you got an admission to medical college, does it qualify you a doctor degree?
No, you have to study and move forward.
You have to know the subject and practice. We have both theory and practicals, correct?
Yes, true.
So if you do that, then there's a chance for you to get the doctor's degree. If you don't do that, how do you expect to get a doctor's degree? So that's what you have to understand. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.
That's one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mother.
Dandavad Pranams. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, regarding the previous class about the spiritual masters, I wanted little clarification, Prabhu, the plural spiritual masters. You said, no, that some clarification we need, Prabhu, for that.
Okay, you write in the group only, in the Canto 2 group only.
Yes, Prabhu.
What is your doubt? And I will try to give answers.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So was today's class enlightening? Were you able to understand the intricate details of incarnations?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
Very nice, Prabhu.
very nice.
Okay. Okay, good. So if there are no more questions, please remember your homework. Your homework is to finish reading the sloka, the translation purport from 2.7.1 till 25. Okay. So that way you will understand all the incarnations, the purposes, and things like that.
Sure.
And after understanding that, 26 onwards, we'll go into the incarnations and the pastimes of the Lord, like Damodar Leela, things like that. Then we'll see how does that, the Lord attracts and caresses and nourishes the devotees. Okay, we'll see that also. Okay, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, वैष्णव श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad
Krishna,
Pranam.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
दंडवत प्रणाम,
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare
Dandavad
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
दंडवत प्रणाम, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण,
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
दंडवत प्रणाम, हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavad.
Prabhu Dandavad Pranam.
Okay, we'll end the class here. I'm ending the meeting. Okay, Hare Krishna.